Once upon a time, in a small village nestled between the mountains and the vast desert, lived a man named Anand. He was a seeker, not of wealth nor of fame, but of meaning. From an early age, he felt the pull of something deeper, something unseen, something that whispered to him in the silent spaces of the night. He had read the sacred texts, sat at the feet of the wise, yet the answers always seemed to evade him. The more he searched, the more distant the truth became. One day, frustrated by the endless contradictions of life, Anand climbed the highest peak in the village to speak to the sage, Mati, who was said to possess the wisdom of the ages. Mati lived alone, far from the noise of the world, in a small hut, surrounded by wildflowers. When Anand reached her, breathless and tired, he found her sitting silently, her eyes closed, as if she were communing with the very earth beneath her. "Why do I suffer?" Anand asked desperately. "I have sought answers my entire life, but the more I seek, the more lost I become. What is the meaning of this existence?" Mati opened her eyes slowly, as if she had been expecting the question. She smiled, not with pity, but with a quiet understanding. "You suffer because you believe there is something to find," she said softly. "You search as if there is a destination, a truth that will explain everything. But life is not a riddle to be solved, Anand. Life is absurd." Anand frowned. "Absurd? What do you mean?" "Life has no inherent meaning," Mati continued, her voice as calm as the wind through the trees. "The universe does not owe you an answer. It simply is. The seasons change, the rivers flow, people are born and die, and yet we chase after purpose as if it is some elusive treasure. But the treasure is an illusion." "Then what is the point of living if there is no meaning?" Anand asked, his heart heavy with disappointment. Mati's smile deepened. "Ah, but that is the beauty of it. You see, freedom does not come from finding meaning. It comes from accepting the absurdity, in realizing that there is no grand purpose waiting for you. You are free, free to create your own meaning. You are not bound by anyone's expectations or beliefs. You are the creator of your own life." Anand sat down beside Mati, his mind racing. He had always believed that there was a higher order to things, a plan that would reveal itself if he searched hard enough. But what if the search itself was the problem? What if he had been running from the truth all along? That life was neither fair nor cruel, neither purposeful nor purposeless, but simply indifferent. "Imagine," Mati said after a long silence, "a man who pushes a boulder up a hill, only to have it roll back down each time he reaches the top. He does this endlessly, knowing that the boulder will never stay at the summit. Now, some would call this man cursed. But what if, instead of lamenting his fate, he finds joy in the act of pushing the boulder? What if he realizes that the struggle itself is his freedom?" Anand thought of the endless days he had spent seeking meaning, the books, the rituals, the gurus he had followed. Perhaps the act of seeking had been the boulder he had pushed up the hill, only for it to roll back down time and time again. But now, as he sat there in the stillness of the mountain, he understood that the boulder had never been his curse. It had been his liberation. "What do I do now?" Anand asked, his voice softer, no longer desperate but curious, like a child seeing the world for the first time. Mati stood up and looked out over the vast landscape, her gaze peaceful and untroubled. "Live," she said simply. "Not as someone who is searching for meaning, but as someone who is alive, fully and completely. Embrace the absurdity of existence, and in doing so, You will find a joy that no answer can give you. The meaning of life is not something you find. It is something you create in every moment, with every breath. Anand looked at the sky, vast and endless, and for the first time in his life, he didn't feel the need to question it. There were no answers there. Only the deep, open expanse of the unknown. And in that emptiness, he felt a sense of lightness, as if the weight of the world had been lifted from his shoulders. He turned to Mati and smiled, not because he had found the answer, but because he no longer needed one. The boulder was still there, waiting to be pushed. But now, Anand would push it with joy, not because he expected it to stay at the top, but because he had learned to dance with it along the way. You see, in life, in your life, find meaning in the struggle itself. In essence, the meaning of life, as conveyed in this story, is not something that is handed to us. It is the meaning we give to our own lives by living authentically and embracing the mystery. This is Dare to Do Motivation Stories. Thank you so much for watching, and stay blessed.